The Texas Sportsman is brought to you by the City of Farr, Capital Farm Credit, Miller Lite, Comfort Suites of Corpus Christi, LF Motors, Performance Auto Center, and Brezer Optics.
Hey folks, welcome to the Texas Sportsman. We're out here fishing in Corpus Christi. We're with Captain Joey Farah. Captain Joey, you ready to put us on the fish?
Absolutely. I'm going to treat you to a day in the Upper Laguna Madre. Okay. A little different what you've been seeing, but very much similar as well. We're blessed with some good tidal area here, so our water's pretty clean. As you get farther south, it dirties up, but you know that's where the gator trout live.
Absolutely. And of course we have Mr. Adrian Garza, NSIDE Coastal Magazine, is that right?
NSIDE Coastal Ben Magazine.
There you go. I'm trying to remember all these things here. And we got Mr. Rick in the real estate business, Rick Gomez. That's Gomez and Gabriel. So you guys, you're in for a treat. We're going to be fishing right here. We're along the King Ranch area.
We're on the King Ranch shoreline. It's a varied depth that comes in steps. So we're going to be drift fishing today from the boat, covering a lot of ground, using mainly soft plastics. Maybe as the sun gets down and there are a little more shadows, we'll break out some topplers this evening. We're hunting trout, but we might get surprised by a redfish or two as well.
All right, and now you've been fishing down here for a long time.
I grew up right there in Flower Bluff and been blessed to call it my home. Been guiding for 17 years. I couldn't understand why anybody would want to do anything else.
Once you hit 62, you said, shoot, I might as well keep fishing, right?
That's right, that's right. I got a couple more years left.
Hey guys, if you know me, you know this guy. We'll be right back on the Texas Sportsman Tracking Outdoors. And that goes for Adrian too and Rick. Okay, we'll be right back after this. This segment is brought to you by Siempre Natural, now open in Edinburgh.
We're going to use conventional spinning tackle today, which is good for windy conditions and light braided line. You can cast a long distance with a thin diameter braided line with spinning tackle, whereas with bait casters it kind of gives you a hard time a lot of times. With the spinning reels, especially in the wind, it's important to keep the wind knots out of the line, and those are created two different ways. They're created that when you cast, you flip the bail over with the handle, and faster than you can see with the eye, it will loop that line up like this at the bottom of your line where you get the farthest point of cast. And so when you reel it up, you'll get those knots in your spool. Another way you get those wind knots is when you have slack line for some reason or another, and you reel it, it whips that line up. So I always keep my fingers sticking out and just enough to where it hits that line when I'm bringing it in and puts it tight on the spool. And another thing that really improves your casting accuracy and distance is if you cast with your left foot forward if you're right-handed, your opposite side, and touch the bottom of the rod with your other hand and really aim with your elbow. So if you do this, aim with your elbow. As the lure hits the water, close the bail with your hand, keep the line tight, pick up your slack, and switch feet to where your right foot's ahead of you and you're working that rod across your chest. This gives you the option that when you do set the hook to come across your chest or take a step back. If you're doing it this way, you don't have nearly the range of motion to set the hook.
Ho, ho, ho! That one's trained.
Spin perch, piranha of South Texas. I'm going to put in a tail on this. Why don't you see how far you can get out there? Aim for those potholes.
Hey folks, welcome back to the Texas Sportsman. We're with Adrian Garza, and he's going to tell us about his magazine. Hey buddy, tell us how it got started.
The magazine actually got started in through the vision of my younger brother in San Antonio. about 7 years ago, and when I saw what was going on over there, I said, you know what, why not bring it to the coastal bend and start it here. And you know, for the people that aren't familiar with the publication, it's a business and a medical magazine. And what we do is, the whole concept of the magazine is just to share the different stories, the profiles of the people that are in Corpus Christi, how they got to where they're at today, you know, the obstacles that they overcome to get to where they're at today, and what are their plans for the future. You know, and it's in a positive way. The stories are meant to be very inspirational stories, and so far the Coastal Bend has seemed to embrace the publication. We actually, this month, we're celebrating our 4-year anniversary, and which is really exciting for a magazine, a local magazine. So then, of course, you know, every month we host a different mixer, bringing people together. You know, just getting back to the basics of handshaking and networking and those types of things. You know, today's day and age, we with social media, we make friends online, but you know, we still got to get back to the basics and meeting people in person and handshaking and handing out business cards and doing those types of things. You know.
What is a publication that you have in numbers, would you say?
We have total. We're going on our 8th magazine. We're in 3 different markets. We're in San Antonio, Austin, and in Corpus Christi. So
y'all distribute about how many? Like once it goes like how many? 6 times a year, is that correct?
Yeah, we come out 6 times a year, and here in Corpus Christi, total combined in all 3 markets, we're probably looking somewhere around close to 25 to 30,000 magazines total. Of course, we're a smaller market, so than San Antonio and Austin, so our distribution here is a little smaller, but we'll reach about a quarter of the population in Corpus Christi. You know, so.
Did you grow up here?
I actually grew up in Alice, which is 45 miles from here, born and raised. My dad and my mom still live in Alice, and you know, my dad was a salesman, so it's kind of in our blood. You know, me and my younger brother, we're a family of 6, and me and my younger brother kind of inherited the salesman part of it from my dad. There was no stranger to my dad, and he's handshaking all day long, every day.
Right.
And growing
goes
up,
in my blood too.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And he'd bring us fishing on the weekends.
Do you like to fish down here too? I guess in these areas.
Gosh, I love to fish. I love the outdoors. You know,
hunt.
Fishing and hunting. That's my passion.
I think we're gonna have to do a fishing hunting magazine next.
There you go. You know, inside outdoors.
Inside outdoors. We're bringing the outdoors inside.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it. All right, buddy. Hey, man, you need to pick up one of these magazines. The number's going to be on the screen. If you guys want to advertise, Mr. Agent right here.
Yeah, just give me a call.
All that stuff.
Yeah.
Facebook, email, everything's going to be there.
Fantastic.
Stay with us on the Texas Sportsman. We're catching over here with Joey Farah out of Corpus Christi. We'll be right back right after this. This segment is brought to you by Simple Natural, now open in Edinburgh. Oh, they're hanging on the bottom, Joey.
Look at that. He took it totally down.
Is that clinic, I would say? Is that how the trout should eat that lure?
That's for, you know, they eat.
You about to try and digest
They eat
that
this
thing.
logic a lot more, with a lot more commitment. Because of that taste and the real soft plastic.
Yeah.
You find a lot of plastics that are really hard, unnaturally hard. They'll try to spit them back out. Real soft bait like that, you can see it tore.
Yeah, look where he bit it.
But it's also very lifelike in that it's soft and it has taste to it as well that it needs. It's a keeper trout.
All right, keep her in the box if you think it's keeping.
I tell you what,
Go ahead, buddy.
just about every afternoon here on the King Ranch, Fred. It's kind of a good afternoon drift. You can't see much. The sun's in your eyes, so you have to just kind of squint, start daydreaming, relax, roll with the waves. We got a drift anchor out there, and as the sun's dropping in the sky, the bite's really starting to turn on a little bit. Starting with some males and some male, you can hear him grunting. Normally this time of year, late April and beginning of May, they're spawning. They spawn heavy before the full moon of each spring month, March, April, May, and June. Where you find dominant, mature males that are croaking, you'll find females with them. And they free spawn, which the females come and they deliver the eggs into a sand pocket, a gravelly sand pocket. Most of the time the males inseminate the eggs and they free float into the grass and stick to that grass. Well, what we use these baits for here is it mimics small pin perch, croaker, chubs, things like that really come in and eat the eggs off of the grass. Those little legs will stick to that grass, and you can see perch rolling in the grass. They're eating the eggs of the trout and other species. So the trout really get aggressive taking those baits out of the area that they're spawning in. So when we're drifting in a high wind situation like this, you really can't spend too much time on one sand pocket, but on these areas where the steps in elevation, you'll find them concentrated on. So we know that little step back we came across right there has got some good spawning fish. Yeah, we'll hit this next two and we'll go back and get on that same one again. So one down.
Gotta be a little trout. Hasn't jumped yet. There you go, that'll keep. Working it slow. They're inside the magazine. There you go. There you go. Give me. Yeah. Oh, there's your fish. There you go. We got some muscle on this one, buddy. As the sun gets down the road, baby. There you go. This one's got some muscle there, daddy.
The rods come up. Again, took it all the way down with the logic. Totally engulfed the bait.
Beautiful.
Nice
beautiful.
one.
Nice healthy trout. Wow. That's another inside coastal magazine trout.
Woo!
Woo! Stay with it, stay with it. We need the net?
I don't know yet. As the sun goes down.
Isn't that a song?
Well, I don't know. We're gonna make it one. Nice trout, nice trout.
Oh my God. Nice one. Woo!
Net over here if you need it.
Net, bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
I'm gonna get it out there for her to dip and dive. Dip and dive at the same time.
One.
Like I said, guys, you can always count on the week before the full moon. Major feeding in the afternoon as the moon rises. That's a nice trout right there. You got the moon coming up right here behind me. You can see as it gets up quartered in the sky. These fish are turning on right before sunset. Nice keeper, not a big trout. They're in here though. Those bigger fish are waiting rise of the moon. Maybe we'll get a few before sunset. I had to. You had all the whiteys. He's holding out on the best lure of the boat. I don't have any, so I had to bob Holly. I was hip to hip, baby.
This segment is brought to you by Siempre Natural, now open in Edinburgh.
Adrian. All right. There with you, Adrian. Fish on over there.
Fish on.
Nice one. Net?
Nah, that's all right. Getting a little better right here as the sun goes down. Nice keeper trout. See how dark she is there on top? That's our Laguna Madre grass bottom that she's been hiding in the grass all day waiting this nighttime. You see how dark her color is. When they're on sand and open water, they're a lot lighter color.
He's on. Head shaker. He's a head shaker. I got it. We got a head shaker there. Let me get down there and get it. Oh, boy.
That's a good keeper. It's a nice keeper.
That'll keep. Got it.
Again, you can see the darker top where she's been sitting in the grass all day waiting at night feed. Shrimp come out as the sun goes down. These fish have really been feeding on a shrimp a lot. That's why that white color's been working. A lot of times you can tell by the poop. See that grayish poop? That's probably a menhaden. It's got a little silver flake in it. When they're feeding on shrimp, it's real orange. Mullet is kind of a brown, muddy color. So you can really tell a lot about what's coming out on that end and what's going in on this end. There's another one. Oh, sunset spots! Another.
That's pretty
keeper
close.
there, yeah. 16-inch keeper.
Nice fish.
You know, Fred, today started off slow, but we anticipated that lunar bite. And I know you live in the outdoors by it. It's really something to follow, and you can research that in a lot of periodicals. And
It's like the Farmer's Almanac.
it is. And
It's right on it.
you can see that moon's approaching the quarter of the sky right now. We're about 4 or 5 days ahead of the full moon, so knew that last little bit. And we made this drift numerous times today with no trout feed. They were just sitting dormant. Now they're starting to wake up a little bit. Like I said, as the sun goes down, the rods were going up.
That's gonna be a country song here. With Kenny Chesney later on.
Does your lender pay you back? Capital Farm Credit does. Did you know that Capital Farm Credit is a cooperative agricultural lender? And when they do well, their customers benefit. As a customer, I've received my share of the profits through Capital Farm Credit's patronage program. They've returned almost 100% of their net earnings in recent years. That means my effective net interest rate is less, keeping more money in my pocket. If you want your share of the profits, Capital Farm Credit's the answer.
Comfort Suites of Corpus Christi, just minutes away from the Gulf of Mexico, Texas A&M University, and North Padre Island. After visiting the beautiful city of Corpus Christi, enjoy your stay at Comfort Suites and snuggle into one of our clean and comfortable rooms. At Comfort Suites, you'll also be provided a free complimentary breakfast. Comfort Suites of Corpus Christi awaits your call. Come and enjoy Comfort Suites and get ready to rest and relax.
What's up, Rock and Roll James? If you want a good truck for poco dinero, then come on by the Performance Auto Center in Alamo, your used truck headquarters. Big trucks, diesel trucks, 4x4, cualquieres, easy on the spot financing available. Bring in your income tax refund and get yourself a good truck por poco dinero. When it comes to trucks, we outperform everyone else. Garantizado. Performance Auto Center in Alamo, right off the expressway just east of Valverde Road.
Well, folks, that wraps up another edition fishing out here in the Corpus Christi Bay. Guys, we had a great time out here. Adrian,
Excellent time.
glad you came out here, buddy.
Thanks, Fred.
Mr. Rick, y'all have a good time. Fishing was a little tough for you guys? Me too. You know, it's a lot about technique, right, Captain?
And with the wind, you know, especially as you're drifting in 20-mile-an-hour winds, you're approaching your bait, you really have to keep up your slack. Slack is your enemy, so really have to learn to just try to keep that slack to a minimum and stay in contact with your bait at all times. Tricky.
It is. You know, we're fishing different types of water, the different water depth, okay, and it's just like that slow retrieve, Tell us once again about your magazine and how the folks can get a hold of it and stuff.
Inside Coastal Bend Magazine. It's a business and a medical journal. You can find it at restaurants, hotels, day spas. You can look it up online, getinside.com. You can find us on Facebook also. So.
Okay. And now, Rick, you're one of the clients, right?
Right.
Okay. Tell us about it. Be a testimonial for us.
Sure.
How does it work?
Inside Magazine has been good for us as a real estate company because the publication has a mixer that works with it as well. The mixer goes on once a month, and it just reflects that. It gives us an opportunity to both be seen in the magazine and that's seen in person as well. And I think that's one of the strengths of the magazine is the fact that it's the magazine and the people side by side at the mixer.
Absolutely. And you feature 3 professionals.
3 professionals. There's 2 magazines in one, a business side and a medical side. And Rick, being one of my clients, he was actually on the cover of my magazine. He's been one of the supporters. He's shared our vision in the Coastal Bend for going on 3.5 years now. So I really appreciate that too. So.
Well, I think what we're going to do now is we're going to get some hunter and fishermen in that
There you go.
magazine
Absolutely.
too, okay?
We need to.
All right.
Inside Outdoors.
And gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
All right. Folks, until next week, we'll see you on the Texas Sportsman Tracking Outdoors. Gotta have it.
The Texas Sportsman was brought to you by the City of Farr, Capital Farm Credit, Miller Lite, Comfort Suites of Corpus Christi, LF Motors, Performance Auto Center, and Brezer Optics.